Good afternoon, everyone. People coming in. Hey, Muddy. Nothing to do in the garden? Wait, you're not down to the at the lake house.
No, we've got renters in today, so I'm stuck at home.
Nice. Um, all right, we've got a few people that are coming on in. Have we got any questions stacking up yet, Heather? People may
We
be
have
writing
one
them
from
in.
Kat that's in here from earlier today. So
Okay. Oh, and there she is. She just came into frame. Hello, Cat. You can
Hi.
wave. There we go. Hello. All right. Uh, what is it, Heather? Take it
so she
away.
wants to know if you can take a look at her dashboard and suggest any improvements. The purpose is to raise awareness, money, and volunteers. Her event is this Sunday, and she wants to know how she might be able to prepare for the possibility of a larger group than she's hosted before, how she can make a transition from Zoom to YouTube as seamless as possible, any best practices, groups you might want to include, best ways to publicize without keeping trollers out.
Mhm.
So Kat, if you will let us know what your organization name is and what the event is so that Grant can pull
Oh
it up.
yeah. It's Trust Climate Action Strategists.
Mhm. Dog lovers.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just pulling it up now.
So
And
where'd
so
it go?
tell us a little bit about the event, as in how have people heard about it, and are they paying for it? What's the deal?
It's a free event. It's to
Mhm.
raise awareness and funds. And I'm hoping that they'll send me a link that I can attach to the site. And I'm just making it up. It was inspired by another call that another group did. And I just thought, well, I've been taking all of these classes. I should be able to figure out how to do this. Except when I got into it, I thought, oh, it's kind of a big, there are some pieces that I don't really understand how to do yet.
Okay.
Especially if it gets to be big, because I'm not really used to that. I'm used to pretty intimate dashboards. And then I also, this is the first time that I'm using a purchase page.
Okay. Uh, and you're doing a that first. You're doing that for the free event. Are
Yes.
you also are you also taking payment for tickets or
No,
not?
I think what people will do is I'd like to be able to put on there somewhere a donation button so they could donate right to the campaign.
I see. Okay.
And in the other calls that I've been on, they have just done a Zoom call. And then I noticed that they also connect their Zoom calls to a YouTube.
Uh-huh.
And like they raised a crazy amount of money in an hour, over $300,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought if I could help in that way, I would try.
Okay. Yeah. So, um, I guess you have to think a little bit about um the best place, like whether a purchase page with not a lot of lead time is the key, is whether it's necessary. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's up to you. Um, so obviously there's a little bit to tidy up with some of the default content in there.
Yeah.
Um, you also need to create a ticket. So you need to
Yeah.
have a ticket for people to purchase, even though it's
Uh-huh.
free. They're still stepping through that process. I wonder if that um, is a barrier for entry that might slow people down from getting into your event,
Mm-hmm.
because you could simply use the sign up page,
Okay.
right? And so now that's all you're having to get from people, and they don't have to check boxes to to get the
And
ticket and step through that.
under which one is that? Under check-in? Or
So
where do I find the
yeah,
sign up page?
so design,
Okay.
and then sign up.
Okay, I
And that
see.
yeah, and that the style of that is the same as the login page, and things like that. It's a similar, so you can customize that style, and then
Okay.
this is what I do, and all of this is subjective, right? But I would move some of the content that you've got on the purchase page and just have that straight up on your dashboard.
Okay.
Um, and then have, I mean, you've already got a bunch of content there.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that people have to put their email address in to see it. So I get that there is a little bit of a barrier there, but it's not too much. And you could
Is there a way to add a line for cell phone number? I see
uh
first name, last name, email, but then I didn't know how to add another line for cell phone.
uh do you know what? I can't remember whether we added that or not.
Yes, there is a way.
Yeah, there is. On sign up though. Let's see. I remember us talking about it. There we go. And then you can say, so there.
How
You
did you
can say
do
that
that?
it's
I missed
required.
how you did that.
Well, you're never
Did you
going to
go?
learn now. I it was too complicated, and I can't go back. No, it was I had to toggle on the page to be able to get to page settings. So toggled on sign up,
Okay.
page settings, and then
Okay.
collect phone number, and then you can decide whether it is required or not. So
Oh, okay.
you can have it there and not require it, or have
Okay.
it and require it.
Okay.
So
Great.
I've got it required at the moment.
Okay.
Um,
Perfect.
and so then if you're using, some social media, or advertising or whatever it is to get people to this page, then I
Mm-hmm.
would I would argue that's where you want to have the hook for them to be able to come to this, free event, and then you
Okay.
get these details, and then they get that now they're in the next level, and now they're
So, uh,
getting more.
so if I understand you correctly, take what I have now on this on the what do you call it? The
Purchase page.
marketplace
Yep,
purchase
purchase
page
page.
and
Uh-huh.
take and migrate most of that over to the dashboard.
The dashboard,
And
yeah.
then what link do I put online for people to sign up? This one right here that when I have fill in below to access.
So this one right here.
Okay, perfect.
So it's on the sign up page, and then it's there. Yeah.
Great.
So um yeah. So there's a few different ways, and people will have different ideas on this, but I think that just getting people in as quick as you can, and this is kind of a nice. It's a little bit of security, or that you just don't have anyone, coming into the event. You post a Zoom link. This is what this is what happened at the start of the pandemic, right? People just posted Zoom links online,
Right,
and then they had all sorts of random people coming and disrupting it.
right.
So I think this is at least slows people down a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and and then of course once they're in Zoom, and if people, I don't know how you plan to run the event, but having a couple of people just kind of as uh, looking after the Zoom meeting and looking out for bad actors or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
then they're ready to they make sure that they're co-hosts and they're ready to remove them, or depending on what they're doing.
Okay.
You put them in the waiting room, put them in the breakout room, or whatever. So that sort of thing is what I'd be thinking about. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, and the the other thing is, if you're concerned about how many people show up, just remembering that um, you would start to need to pay for people over 500
Uh-huh.
um, active active attendees that have actually come to the dashboard.
Yeah.
Um, and so you just want to you can go and buy add-ons that are ready there, or
Uh-huh.
you can and wait till it gets to 500, and then you can buy them then if you want to. So
And how do I do that? Because I don't know who will,
yeah,
how would I actually do that? And how much is it per person then after 500?
so it's $100 for 250 people.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, and then that just keeps going up. And then of course your next barrier would be 1,000 people in Zoom in that
Okay.
one Zoom meeting, right?
And then what do I do?
Panic.
I don't
Well,
want to panic.
um, well, you've got a good problem at that point. Um, so if you've got 1,000 people, you're maxing out. Um,
Mhm.
I would think uh, you would probably just want to be live streaming, which you're talking about anyway, right? Live
Mhm.
stream to YouTube,
Okay.
and then you can embed that YouTube video on the dashboard.
Oh, okay. So
So the same.
technically, how do I actually do that? So I've got
All right.
Zoom
So first,
open.
of all, we'll just cover off the add-ons, right? So under
Okay.
your organization settings at the top, and then add-ons,
Yeah.
you can purchase an add-on
Okay.
if you think it's getting close. What will happen is we won't stop people coming into your event, but you will get locked out of the admin until you purchase more, right? So 501 people show up, they're fine, they go into the event, that's all fine. When you're looking at the admin of Obvio, it'll come up with an alert that you would
Mm-hmm.
need to purchase an add-on. As soon as you purchase the add-on, admin works again, and people are still flowing into the event. All of that's fine.
Mm.
So
Okay.
that's how add-ons work.
Okay.
For a Leap and for Pro plan, we include 500 up to 500, and it requires that people actually go to the dashboard. What you're talking about with using the sign up is that they will be an active user. As soon as they fill in that sign up form and they see the dashboard, they are now an active attendee, and they are
Okay.
counted against the 500. They don't have to go into Zoom, they just need to see your dashboard.
And how will I be able
That's
to
what-
monitor the numbers that are coming in?
Well, your advantage with what we're talking about here is knowing that every one of them is an active attendee, is that you can see it. You can either see it here, you'll see the list of how many people are in the attendees list there. You can also see it in this number here, there'll be a number right here. You've sort of got total attendees. This is under event and statistics, and you'll
Oh,
see the
let me
number
go back.
going up there.
Let me
Yeah.
go back to event and statistics. So I should have this window open to be monitoring it then.
That's right. Yep.
Okay, in addition to another Obvio window open that actually runs the event.
Yeah,
Correct?
that's probably a good idea. Yeah, and if you
Okay.
had another device, a tablet, a phone, or something, you could actually open it up. And just another little tip here is that you can actually have there's a little icon there, and you can have this. Oh, you may not be able to see my window. By a second.
Oh, yay. Bez, you're my hero. I had a feeling you might come through.
Well, I'm just the secretary of the Latino caucus for the state of Georgia. So,
Oh,
I'll hook you up. You know what I mean?
awesome. 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 Let's
Um,
let's
so
figure that out.
what you can see here is a little window that you can pop out, and
Uh-huh.
that window then you could drag and put anywhere, and now you can keep an eye on your checked in attendees
Oh,
or your
it lets me
total
pull it
attendees.
out.
Yeah, so you can
Oh,
pull it
that's
out and put it
cool.
on another. You could put it on
On
another
another
display.
window.
Yeah, exactly.
And how did you
Uh,
do that? You just clicked on the
so just
icon and
here.
it moves?
Yeah, just there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's
Yeah.
good to know. All right.
All right. So there's
And
that,
so
and
this way
then
they won't have to create any password. I won't exactly
no.
have the full security because I'm not giving each one a link because they're not really signing up in advance, right?
Oh, I mean, yeah, they're not signing up in advance, although they can,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
you could send this out now, and what they're doing is signing up. They're becoming a full attendee in Obvio,
Mm-hmm.
which now means that you can send them email, right? So if you had
Okay.
anyone sign up, you could send them reminders and say we're about to start or whatever. So you could set up broadcasts to do that for the people that are in there. So it just depends on when people have access to be
Okay.
able to sign. So
All right.
um,
And then how do I go
yeah,
from
oh,
Zoom to
that's right.
YouTube?
Yep. So in Zoom, when you're the
Mm-hmm.
host of the meeting,
Mm-hmm.
down the bottom there's an option for live streaming, and then YouTube. And so, which is exactly what I've just done for this meeting right now. And that will take you to YouTube. It'll ask you for a name for the event, and then it just starts. And now that's Zoom to YouTube direct. You're not having to do anything else. That's just now taking the active whatever view that the host sees is
Mm-hmm.
what the live stream sees. And so
Okay.
if you're looking at the gallery view, that's what people on YouTube see. If you're looking at the active speaker, that's what they see. So
Okay.
it's worth knowing that. Then you would take a let me see here.
Thanks everybody for your patience. I know this is probably a little bit off course for some of you, but this is what's
we're
before
we're
me.
we're apolitical, and so we're not talking about politics. We're just talking about
Yeah,
Obvio and how it's
right.
serving the purpose.
But it's a
So
great use case because you probably
yeah,
could get a lot of business just in that one area from both sides or three sides or four sides, whatever.
Well, I was
right.
thinking it would be a great way of letting people know about Obvio too, because people I think are gonna say like, "Oh wow, this is a pretty cool thing that you put together."
Yeah. So what what you see here is I've actually embedded a playlist.
Uh-huh.
And so oh, Muddy.
Oh, there's Muddy.
Yeah. There's worker Muddy. So what's interesting to me is that it's not showing this current one, even though I have added it. Anyway, the point is that what you can do with the YouTube link is you simply embed it on the dashboard, and
Oh.
you would likely, like, this is simply a blog post, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
I've used an embed code for this one because I'm doing a playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that's just sitting there, but you could just disable it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Until you hit 1,000 people,
Okay.
and then you just enable it so that now, and at that point you could probably enable that and disable your main, um, join the Zoom room. You could remove that potentially, right?
Okay.
So that
And
now people
then,
are just seeing the live stream.
okay. And then I think they may have, is it possible they could have linked it to either Facebook or LinkedIn as well?
Yep. So still at the moment, you can only stream uh to one service through Zoom.
Okay.
Um, so but there are services like Restream, for example, that you can stream to Restream, and then they can stream it to, 4, 5, 6 other platforms all at the same time. And
Okay.
so you would use another service to handle the fanning out of all the live streams.
Okay. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Yeah.
Anything else I should know that I haven't asked?
No, I think that you have a play with it. Muddy's been typing out some stuff. What do you think, Muddy? You got some thoughts?
No, I was just sharing that it's not always obvious, but it's important to know the live stream sees whatever view, and Grant mentioned this, the live streamers, the live stream sees whatever view the host has on their screen. So if you switch to gallery view, the live stream is seeing gallery view. So, and if you have a particular view that you want the live stream to see, you may want to have a separate computer be the host and kind of be set into that view, right? So for these meetings, the YouTube live stream is speaker view.
Uh-huh.
And so it's just important to note, because as the host, sometimes you switch between gallery view and speaker view, and it's not always obvious that the viewers are seeing what you're seeing. So just a tip to be mindful of that.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah, I used to I used to use another computer all the time because I like to have gallery view in front of me. But the middle ground now is that when you're using the multi-speaker mode, that acts as active speaker to YouTube, but still gives you gallery view, in the view that I'm looking at. So that's which is great. So multi-speaker is.
So I should be conscious of that if I want to highlight a speaker, to make sure that I spotlight that speaker in Zoom. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that yes, that would work. But also if your view as the host is either active speaker or multi-speaker, then you will then whoever's speaking is what will be seen full screen on YouTube.
And you mentioned that down at the bottom of my screen, there would be something that would allow me to connect with YouTube. That's only available when the event is live?
That's only available when you're host. Yep. And it'll often be in the more, you have to click the more button, and then you'll see live stream as an option, and then the next option is where you want to live stream it to.
Okay.
So you have a play around with that when you're host. So on any event, just fire that up and you'll be able to play with that and see what the deal is.
Is there anything I need to do with rooms or areas to accommodate a larger capacity?
Well, only to the point that I think at this point you can just plan to go up to 1,000.
Okay.
If you were wanting to do more than 1,000 all in Zoom, then you would have multiple rooms and areas, but you would need production assistance to make that work. You would need systems to have to be able to take the audio and video from one meeting and pipe it into another meeting, and so on and so forth. So at this point, a few days out, I think it's worth just planning for 1,000. Know that you top
Okay.
out at 1,000, and
Okay.
you've got a plan in place to have people see the live stream if you
Okay.
go over 1,000.
Okay. And that would
And
be
I think that's
directing
a
it
good
to
strategy.
YouTube
Correct.
is
Yeah.
the optimum rather than FaceTime or LinkedIn. YouTube has a greater possibility of viewership.
Yeah, it's a great system. It'll work well, and particularly being able to embed it on the dashboard and things like that, I think is a good way to do it. So,
Okay.
all right.
Is just one more question. Is it possible once I get that YouTube link that I might put it on a Facebook page that
Yeah.
they could then watch that YouTube live?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. There's nothing stopping you posting that link everywhere as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There's all sorts of specifics about how other services, how Facebook would display and promote a link to YouTube that takes them off their platform versus having a live video that's being played through the Facebook platform.
Got it.
But you're gonna have a play around. You're gonna see how it all goes, and see what happens there. So, Muddy,
Thank you. Thank you so much.
welcome.
I wanted to expand on something that you said, Grant, that was not clear in my pro tip. And normally we think of speaker view and gallery view. There is a new view in Zoom 6.0 and above. So not everyone is in Zoom 6.0 and above, but for those that are, and soon enough, everyone will be kind of bumped up and automatically. But there's a new view called multi-speaker view. And what occurred to me is when you mentioned multi-speaker view, it prompted Kat to think, okay, I need to spotlight my speakers and multi-spotlight my speakers in order for them to show on the live stream.
Right.
And I just wanted to clarify that there's actually now a third in Zoom 6.0 and higher, speaker view, gallery view, and then something called multi-speaker, which shows essentially the last two active speakers in this side-by-side view and then kind of gallery below them. And what I just learned from Grant is that still shows up like speaker view for the live stream. It's still going to show kind of the person who's talking on the live stream, even though you as the viewer can kind of expand the gallery view and see the gallery view. So just wanted to expand on that to clarify.
Okay, one question just popped into my mind because I've never hosted something this large before. How many do you set it then at 49 people so you get maximum views of all the people who are there, and then the other 950 people are just on different pages or rooms?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the terminology is.
At that point, that's just your view, right? So it's how you're experiencing the event, and everyone could be experiencing it in a different way, and being able, either they're seeing active speaker or they're seeing a gallery view and they're going through the pages and they're seeing other people. That's up to them to be able to see that. You're not controlling that.
Okay.
necessarily. So
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you
but
so much.
Are
you'll
you
learn a
doing this
lot.
by yourself?
Yeah.
Cat, that you need help.
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm willing to help
Thank
because
you.
for free. Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
I
Let's
get paid this big salary of 0.0000 anyways.
yeah, I get it.
You've
Let's
got a 6-0 salary. Is that what that is?
Man, it is 1 0 after the other, and before the other, it's a really big salary.
Starts with 0 and ends with 0. It's so big.
You don't want to be me.
um, well, yeah, you two connect. That's a great idea. So,
Thank you.
I had
all
a
right,
quick note for Kat
yeah,
if
go,
there's
Jeff.
still time, Grant.
Yeah,
Hey,
go.
Kat, I just wanted to mention that if you're streaming to Facebook and you're playing any music, Facebook is not kind when it comes to music. Simply
Yeah,
put, they will likely
don't do
take your
it.
stream down. My
Yeah.
friend, one of my best friends, is a composer. He's actually composed music for a bunch of our events, and we still like he can't stream to Facebook using his own music that he's composed himself.
From that
It
one
thinks it's
time.
something else
Wow.
multiple times. Yeah, his so even as a composer, he has to submit all his stuff in advance. He just doesn't use Facebook anymore. It's a nightmare for him. So that's one thing. And then I've also got an article for you. I'll send to you here in chat of like what it looks like to connect multiple Zoom meetings. I would avoid it at all costs. I call it a multi-Zoom. You just, as Grant mentioned, it gets into a lot of production where you're connecting different machines and you've got to have video and audio talk to each other. It's gonna overcomplicate this, and especially
Okay.
with a free event, like
Yeah,
it's more than you want to get into. But I do
right.
want to share it for you with you because if you're going to be doing this in the future and this continues to grow, you do want to be thinking about that of how are you going
Okay.
to manage that so you're not limited to the 1,000. So I'll share that in chat for you in case it's helpful for the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for your help. And Baz, let's connect.
That's great. Thank you, Jeff. All right, next question.
Yes, this is from Muddy. He had a question from one of his clients. So if an attendee wishes to stop receiving SMS messages or emails, what is the process?
There is no process. It is something that we're conscious of. The tricky thing is that we consider that we're doing transactional emails and text messages, right? Which is distinct from marketing. It's not marketing. And so the idea that you could unsubscribe from transaction emails is counterproductive. So, but and we're walking a line here that we're not wanting to encourage people to start using Obvio as a marketing tool, right? For sending emails out to your attendees. That's not what it's designed for. It's designed to have people who have intentionally opted in because they have signed up, they've bought a ticket, however it is, they're coming to your event. And so our thinking is that they want and need to receive those emails from you and text messages. So if you're getting to a point where you're annoying people and they want to unsubscribe, then something's gone wrong with the event philosophy and what you're doing. At this point, you would be removing them from the event. That, but it might be feedback for you that you're pushing too many text messages, or that you're pushing too many emails or whatever. So I'm not saying that we won't create some sort of opt out for this sort of thing, because there is something there, but there's the insight to our thinking on it, is that it's more transactional. What do you
Well,
think,
and it's
buddy?
tricky because if they opt out once, then they're out and they wouldn't get future mission
Correct.
critical messages, right? So
That's exactly right.
and this is not a problem that people have asked to unsubscribe. She's just
Mhm.
updating her terms and conditions, and so it's just kind of thinking through the
Gotcha.
process. And the use case is this is a series of monthly meetings. So
Yep.
at the beginning of the series, we have 20 people signed up for month 1. But
Mhm.
by month 6 or 8, we have 200 people on the list, and they're all
Mhm.
getting the reminders, even though
Yes.
they didn't explicitly say, I want to come to month 3, I want to come to month 5. So I think we
Right.
were just kind of thinking through it on a systematic standpoint. But the philosophy makes a lot of sense that these are not marketing messages, these are transactional. So the marketing rules don't really apply in this.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And so it's both a technical distinction, and it's also a philosophical distinction for us, is that it's transactional. So but I get people that are doing recurring events, particularly, that would be happy, sometimes would be happy for people to return every month. That's fine. That's great. But we also get people that don't want to, and they're happy. They've done their a couple of months or whatever, and they don't want to come back anymore. Well, at
I
that
think
point,
what we can list in the terms is if you reply to an email and ask to be removed, we'll just remove you from the event and you won't get future messages.
right?
So yeah.
Yep, exactly. That's one way, and of course, a more nuanced approach also would be tagging, right? That you could tag people, and so that they still stay in your attendee list, or you're managing that list somehow, but you're only sending to people that don't have this tag or do have this tag or whatever it is, right? So, but yeah, I think it's a good use case of they've asked to be removed, and now you may want to still maintain them in some sort of list that's not tied to the event, and ask them to opt into, would you be happy to receive a newsletter from time to time or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, or and it's a good point, because what I could do with tagging, as opposed to having to add an opt-in tag for each month. Okay, I'm subscribed for October. I'm only sending it to October people. What I could do is just apply an unsubscribe tag to them. They stay as an attendee, but I'm just sending it to anybody who doesn't have the unsubscribe tag. So that would be a
Yeah,
good idea.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, good work. All right, next question. I think they're all muddy questions now. Is that right?
They are, but this one he
Good.
actually answered for himself. He figured it out, but I think it's still good to share. He
Right.
wanted to know if there was a way to share sales page templates between organizations. He knows that you can duplicate that in the event, and move it to another organization, but the sales pages aren't duplicated when an event is. And then he figured it out and said, yes, you can.
Yeah, and the whole idea was we can move events from one organization to another organization. But
That
the
you're
way
the
that
owner of.
sales
Yep.
templates
That
are
you're the
applied,
you're the owner of both of them. Yeah.
that's right, that you're the owner of
Yep.
both of them.
Mhm.
But the way sales page templates work is they're not duplicated with the event when you duplicate the event, but all of the templates within that organization are available as templates when you go to create it. And so I was curious, well, how do I get a sales page template from one organization to another? And what I discovered is if I apply that template to an event and then move the event to a new organization, that sales template is now available in that new organization as a template. So that was the open learning process I learned here while on
No,
this
it's good.
call.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really just a way that we built in a templating system, um, and kind of inside baseball is that our the templates that we're providing are also just from an organization, that we're sharing into across all organizations, right? So that's the way that works. So you're seeing all of the default templates as well as any of your templates for that organization. So yeah. I'm glad that's working. Cool.
And if
No
anyone
more
has any
questions.
questions, you can post them,
Yes,
or we
that's
can try
right.
to catch Grant off guard and just start talking.
Exactly. You can do that too. Happy with that.
I'm going to encourage the latter.
Thanks,
There
Jack.
was a bug with the thank you
Oh,
page.
oh, hello, Robin. Hello, Robin.
Hi.
I'm good. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Well, she said just try to catch you off guard, so I didn't want to make
Well,
it niceties first.
fair enough. Let's talk bugs.
Hi,
What have we
Grant.
got?
How you doing?
Hello. Well, thank you. Nice to see you, Robin. What have we
The
got?
For the sales pages or the purchase and thank you page that we create, it wasn't opening up the thank you page when I wanted to select it. It was only giving the option to create the purchase page, even though I was on the thank you tab. Is that working now by chance?
I I believe so. I thought that was a push through change. Um, have a little play. When I'm playing, I'm seeing all of that thank you page um set up. So it's going through to the thank you page. It's not going to the purchase page. So
Okay, thank
yep,
you, Grant.
yep. We've been madly fixing little bugs like that, and so we've been pushing them through as quickly as possible. So have a little play and see what you think. Cool, cool. Anyone else? Oh, could be the shortest call in a while. Although most of you are just kind of in this weird little summary type break, aren't you? It's just like you're half working, most of you. Is that
It's
right?
been a stressful day for me, so I haven't been able to really formulate any good questions. So
Okay,
here
okay,
for the
good.
call.
But
Oh.
August is a funny month though, right? Over there.
Yeah, it is because it's just funny.
It's just funny. Exactly. I don't know. I
Robin,
agree.
don't you have like a word problem you want us to solve for you or something that um we can do, or do you want to?
I'm thinking really hard, but like it's been a rough day.
We can we could do Wordle together.
I
That
have
was
some mastermind problems with the affiliate program, but I don't really know that's appropriate here.
right.
I think Grant's trying to fill some airtime, so I think
Yeah, that's right.
everything's a go.
We really don't need to. We do it every week, and so it's fine. We can call it a day, and we can move on with your August. Um,
Except
so
for Jeff. Jeff seems to actually have a question.
all right, go take it away.
I more just had a comment. So I used the certification engine last week. I think that's what you call it. I don't know. It sounds fancy when you say engine. I
It
like
does.
that name the best.
It does.
Sounds like there's some locomotive or something on the back end, or little robot engineers doing work for me, and that just sounds
It's
very
right.
cool. Um,
You just have to
so
say artificial intelligence based certification engine. Yeah.
Yeah, for those that were not on a previous call, I had a 3-day event last week, and it was a certification event. So people were getting certified in our program as a result of attending this event. And so I needed to set all sorts of parameters because we've got people from all over the globe that were attending, and certain states, certain countries have very strict training requirements and stuff. So I had to set up a number of rules and a number of filters so that people only got credit if they attended a certain percentage live, and then they had to complete certain exercises. It's very complicated. And so we got to day 3. It's like the last 15 minutes of the event. And I remember taking the stage, and I was like, all right, we've got this new certification engine that's a part of our platform here. And I don't know if it's going to work. So if you don't get your certificate, notice the yellow help desk button and, feel free to reach out there and we'll do it manually. We had to do one certificate manually. That's it. And it was some weird,
out of a total of two. There was two.
it was more of that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
On that particular day, we had, I think, 33 that were generated.
You're great.
By the engine, and yeah, no errors. It was beautiful. And then we also had a little certified badge that people can put in their email footer, that say they're certified in our
Nice.
program. And so they were able to download their certificate and their badge. And it was beautiful. So thank you, Heather, too, for answering some questions and double checking some things on the back end for me. I was nervous with a couple emails going out, and we had an issue with a little bug that I think you guys fixed. But I just wanted to give some feedback that I've been waiting, a couple of years, hoping that feature would come along, and it did. And then we put it to use. And I was expecting to have to generate a few manually, and just one.
So good.
So it made
So
life so
good.
easy. So thank you for that.
Well, there's some mutual congratulations on that, really, and because it's one thing for us to have all the functionality working correctly. It's then another thing for you to have it all set up on your end too, right?
Right,
And
yeah.
particularly with the way that you had the visibility rules and all of that all set up. So that's awesome. It was a really cool use case of not only the certificates, but how people access them as well. That was really cool to see. So well done.
It was
Yeah.
quite complex, but it's one of those things like once you do it once, we can now duplicate that dashboard, just duplicate the rules and we're ready to go.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, the automation of all of that, and there's nothing stopping you weeks out from your event having that totally locked down and ready to go. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
You've got a couple of people that want to attend, so there you go. You can sign them up. They want to experience the engine in its full
Yeah.
glory.
Well, Jane, our event recordings are being edited down into a course, so I can send that to you and you'll be able to, I think you'll find it interesting. You won't see our use of Obvio that way because that'll be on a course platform. Of course, it'll be on demand versus live, but you'll get the idea, I think, and how we're doing things.
Really cool. All right. Anyone else?
Muddy did say that he has a little show and tell if you're interested on the Aperture B7C bulb.
Oh, yeah, take it away.
Rick mentioned this earlier. Rick was on the call earlier and put a comment in that he had just recently purchased an Aperture B7C light bulb. It's a smart light, and it's got a really interesting form factor. So this is the light, and it has a regular socket fixture. You can screw it, and in fact, the way that you power it is you just screw it into a socket. And so it works like it can replace a regular light bulb, but it's actually battery powered, and it has a power button on it, and I can press and hold it. And so it can operate without being plugged into a socket, as long as the battery is charged. And what he was mentioning in his comment is that to get the full functionality out of it, you really want the Citus Link app, because this light bulb is a fully color changing light bulb. So it's at 10% brightness right now on white. And if I bump that down a little bit, let's see if I can get it to go down. But I can change it to color and pick any color on the color picker. Well, it looks like it may have lost its connection to the app when I powered it on manually. But through the app, you can choose any color to make this into a fully color changeable light, or add different effects like flickering or paparazzi or party mode where it switches between different colors. So kind of a full featured light bulb. And I think they're normally $70 a piece. They were on sale recently. So it's expensive as far as smart light bulbs go, because you can get most of the lights in my studio, like the one in this paper lantern, is just a Philips Whiz Wi-Fi smart bulb that you can get for $12 or $15 and change the colors and brightness on it. But not many of them have this ability. One of the ways that this is used in studio sets is they actually screw it into a lamp, but the lamp's not plugged in, right? So you can put the lamp anywhere you want and it sits in a lamp and gives that effect, you know, you can imagine on a movie set, but you don't need to actually power on the lamp. So anyway, Rick was mentioning this and I happen to have one handy, so I thought I would share it.
It's really cool. It's really cool. Now, there's one thing that you need to do with that bulb right now, Muddy, and that is an Uncle Fester. Uncle Fester. There we go. There we go. It would have been so much easier for them to do that on the Addams Family if they had these. Nice. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else got some random bits of technology they want to share? Nope. All right. Well, as we've said before, the questions, the posting questions can be done 24/7, right? You can take one of the links from any of the emails. They all go to the same dashboard. You can then hit post a question, put a question in there. When it comes around to the next Wednesday afternoon, we'll answer it, and then it'll be in the recording. So even if you can't make it, you can actually go back to the same dashboard and the YouTube video will be there and you'll get the answer to the question. So you don't even have to be here to be able to do it. So Esther, you're squeezing one in, a question before the end.
My question, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So my question is about help, technical help with Obvio. I know I mentioned it before, and I would like to have somebody help me if possible. Because I need to set the whole system up, the whole system automation that will work well. And I want to learn it too, because I've depended on VAs and other things. It's not working for me.
Okay. Have you been through the workshop videos that Blue did, sort of walking through? Yes.
I've done some of them. I followed them to a point and then I get stuck. And so then I give up at that point. Then I try again and I'm stuck. So it's like I feel like I haven't made any progress. And I've given my login information to my VA and everything. And she probably doesn't have the time to do it.
Right.
Nothing has happened. So
yeah. Okay. So I guess there's two things I think of, and one is that the moment that you get stuck on what specific thing is the next question, and that's the thing that we can help you with, right? But that's one aspect. It is also taking a step back and saying how much of this is what you need to do yourself and how much can you have other people help you do. And it sounds like you want a combination of both. You sort of want other people to be able to help you and get it all set up, but you do also want to learn and understand what's going on. And I get that. And so there's a few people, I think we've said before, I'm sure that Muddy could have a conversation with you and see whether there's some arrangement that you could come to. I'm not talking for Muddy, but you're welcome to to say
and Esther, I put my contact
correct.
information in the chat for you on the last call when this came up, but
I didn't see it.
Okay, and I sent you a friend request on Facebook to make it easy.
Oh, so is your name Mike?
It is Mike Mighty Schlegel. Yeah.
Okay. Recently somebody hacked my Facebook and started contacting people for friend requests and telling people that I've been in hospital, I'm sick, I was admitted for a long time on long-term antibiotics, that kind of thing. So I put a recording on Facebook that this is not true. And now I'm even scared to put anything on Facebook out there because I'm afraid they will take my voice and use it. So when I saw Mike Madi and I said, I hope it's not some imposter, So
right.
I did not respond to that request.
Okay, so
I'm sure it's still there. So now that I know it's you,
I just put it in the chat again. It's a direct message for you, so feel free to grab it there.
And now, Esther and Muddy, you've got to come up with right now. There's a code word that you're going to use. There has to be a call and response. And so what it is that Muddy's going to say, "I love bananas," and Esther's going to say, "And so do monkeys." And that way, you will both know. You will both know that you are legitimate.
Monkey's named Mike, because there it is. There's the double.
And do you know what that is, Jeff?
And now we'll just have to edit this out of the public YouTube recording.
Jeff, that's right. Jeff, that is a certification engine that we have just come up with there.
Yes.
For them to secure their conversation going forward.
And then Esther, you have to say, but only bananas for scale. And that's even more. There's two people that get that joke on this call, and it's just
That's good. Well done.
I didn't get it.
No, that's right.
It's okay.
I'm joking about what is actually quite serious, and I'm sure it actually caused you a whole bunch of stress, Esther. So the hacking term actually is very broadly used in Facebook, in the sense that most of the time it's just someone's created a new profile and using your identity. The security of your profile often is not actually been what's the term? Compromised.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's often your profile's totally fine. It's just that somebody else has set up a profile using your picture and your name, impersonating you, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
yeah, and so it's a big problem for Facebook, but they do have processes to stop that, and one of the things, there's lots of things you can do. One thing you can do is change your profile picture on your actual profile to something different, and now it's really obvious which one is the incorrect account, and then you can have people report that account as an imposter account, and then it'll get shut down. So so there's a few things there, but anyway, the point to your question, connecting to Muddy, no matter which direction that goes, will be very helpful for you. So that's a great next step. And then my encouragement to everyone is that sometimes you just don't know what questions to ask, and I get that. And it just, the whole thing feels overwhelming, and I don't know what the question is. And my encouragement is that no matter where you are in the process, that you boil down to what is the next thing that I'm trying to do. Not what are the 50 things that I need to do to get to the end of the race, but where am I, and what's the next step? What's the next pebble that you're picking up as you picking up all the pebbles? What's the next one? And that's the thing that you need help with. And that you come, either you send an email at help@obv.io, or you come on a Wednesday afternoon and we work through that particular next step.
Okay.
So, great. Well, thank you, everyone.
Okay.
An hour.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been an hour for a little while. Hey, Heather, you can have the next hour and just do whatever you want to do. But she's gone.
Okay.
She took it very seriously. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
That's awesome.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Right.
See y'all. Have a good day.